Adult film star Stormy Daniels has been ordered by a court to pay President Trump almost $600,000 in legal fees. Let's talk about it. So, our girl Stormy Daniels has a major problem. See, she signed an NDA with former President Trump for like $130,000 to keep her mouth shut. But she wanted more money. So she hired this guy, Michael Avenatti. Now, Michael Avenatti, if you don't know, he's a convicted felon. This guy is in jail because he stole money from other clients. This guy was a total clown, but he represented Stormy Daniels. And he decided to go on a lawsuit spree, just filing lawsuits that made absolutely no sense. Like one to get out of the NDA, one because he believed President Trump had defamed Stormy Daniels. I mean, this guy just was going insane. So now to understand why Stormy Daniels has to pay over $500,000 to President Trump, you have to understand the case and why it was thrown out. See, Stormy Daniels and her attorney Michael Avenatti was going around saying that Stormy Daniels was physically threatened by an unknown man. Listen to the story.
I was in a parking lot going to a fitness class with my infant daughter. I was taking, the seats facing backwards in the back seat, diaper bag, getting all the stuff out. And a guy walked up on me and said to me, "Leave Trump alone, forget the story." And then he leaned around and looked at my daughter and said, "A beautiful little girl, it'd be a shame if something happened to her mom." And then he was gone.
Did you go to the police?
No.
Why?
Because I was scared.
So after hearing the story, Stormy Daniels released this sketch of the man she alleged attacked her. And President Trump called BS on the story. Donald J. Trump tweeted a sketch years later about a non-existent man, a total con job, playing the fake news media for fools, but they know it. After seeing this tweet, Michael Avenatti and Stormy Daniels raced to the courthouse and filed a suit for defamation, saying this tweet that you see on your screen defamed her and she was seeking monetary compensation for this tweet. So after seeing this lawsuit, the judge dismissed it easily, said it was nonsense, it's frivolous. There's no way you can recover from this statement. It's his opinion that this is non-existent. Matter of fact, here's CNN covering the story.
Judge James Otero, the federal judge in California, ruling in his favor, saying that he was exercising his free speech. He was exercising his First Amendment rights, and that his tweet about the skeptical tweet about that story that Stormy Daniels told about being threatened in a Las Vegas parking lot, that was an opinion that is protected and not actionable. Here is more of what Judge Otero said. He said, he wrote, "The court agrees with Mr. Trump's argument because the tweet in question constitutes rhetorical hyperbole, normally associated with politics and public discourse in the U.S. The First Amendment protects this type of rhetorical statement." So there you go, Judge Otero agreeing with the president's arguments, lawyers' arguments, that he was simply exercising his free speech when he made that tweet.
Now, the judge in this case thought this lawsuit was so bad that he ordered Stormy Daniels to pay Trump's legal fees, which accounted to $293,000. So not only did she lose the defamation suit, she was ordered to pay his legal fees because the suit was so bad.
A California judge just ordered porn star and director Stormy Daniels to pay nearly $300,000 in legal fees to the lawyers representing President Trump. This comes from the defamation suit brought by Daniels.
The United States District Court has dismissed Stormy Daniels' defamation lawsuit against the president and ordered her to pay his attorney's fees. The court's order constitutes total victory for the president and total defeat for Stormy Daniels in this case. The court heard oral argument today on the amount of fees to be awarded and will issue a ruling in the future. Thank you.
Now, after getting your case thrown out and being forced to pay the other side's attorney fees, you would think Stephanie Clifford and her attorney Michael Avenatti would have wised up and said, "Hey, enough's enough. Let's just go about our way." But no. They said, "We need to go farther. We're going to appeal." Now, if you're smart, you understand if you appeal, the other side gets more attorney's fees. And if you lose the appeal, you're going to have to pay more. So now this brings us to the news of yesterday. See, the appeals court now added an extra $122,000 on top of the $300,000 plus that she already owed, bringing the total up to about $600,000 in legal fees that Stormy Daniels now owes the president. On Tuesday, a commissioner for the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals ruled that Trump's attorneys reasonably spent more than 183 hours on an appeal of this case, but denied the request for another $5,000 in other fees because it was atomized. In all, Daniels has been ordered to pay more than $600,000 in Trump's legal fees.
The United States, former adult film star Stormy Daniels has been ordered to pay Donald Trump more than $180,000 in legal fees. Ms. Daniels lost a defamation case against the former president over a tweet in 2018. She filed an appeal, which has now been dismissed by a judge in California.
Here is President Trump's attorney on Twitter. She writes, "Congratulations to President Trump on this final attorney fee victory in his favor this morning. Collectively, our firm has obtained over $600,000 in attorney fee awards in his favor in the meritless litigation initiated by Stormy Daniels." Now, Stormy Daniels has made it abundantly clear that she'd rather go to jail than pay 1 penny of those attorney's fees. And she tweets that, "I will go to jail before I pay a penny." So let's recap real quick. Stormy Daniels gets into an agreement with former President Trump to keep her mouth shut about sleeping with the man X amount of years ago. She's paid $130,000 and signs an NDA. She then says, hey, I want out of the NDA, and sues Trump to get out of the NDA. Then she also sues Trump because she said he defamed her. Both of those lawsuits were dismissed and thrown out. But the defamation suit was so bad that the judge said, hey, you brought a frivolous suit, so you now owe the president $300,000 in legal fees. So now, instead of her being paid $130,000, she now owes an extra $170,000 to President Trump. She then appeals, that appeal goes south, and the judge in the appeals court says, hey, you owe an extra $180,000 on top of the $300,000 you already owe, bringing the total amount to somewhere close to $600,000 in legal fees she now has to pay President Trump. So she went from being owed $130,000 to now possibly owing $600,000 to Trump. So now, question. Do you think this is fair? This is a crazy case. She went in trying to get money from sleeping with Trump, and now she essentially owes $500,000 to the man because she kept bringing frivolous lawsuits. What do you think about her being a witness in the criminal case? I think her credibility may be shot, especially the fact that she's been filing frivolous lawsuits against him and owes him $500,000. But let me know what you guys think. My name is Nate the Lawyer, and I'll see you next time. Peace.